A place like this commands your respect. It requires your attention. And if you're here alone, the magnificence of this landscape makes you feel insignificant. These buttes, cliffs, and valleys have been weeding out the weak for thousands of years. And now it's weeded me out too, for now. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to. You plan ahead, study the Onyx maps, and scout out the trails. You drive hours and hours to get here. Then Mother Nature lets you know her decision. I've chased these trails twice now, and each time the desert answered with wind and resistance. No fires lit, no stories fully told, just the quiet retreat of an adventure left undone. Factory Butte has become kind of my white whale. Frustrated by the failure, my son and I left the open desert behind, retreating to the shelter of Moab. A quiet place to regroup, breathe, and figure out what will come next.
Failure isn't something we like to talk about, especially when we've set out with plans, with expectations. But failure has a way of teaching us things that we didn't expect if we're willing to listen. This trip was supposed to be different. Factory Butte, Goblin Valley, the kind of perfect backdrop for an overlanding adventure. But with conditions too extreme, the whole thing kind of started to unravel. And when things don't go according to plan, you have two options. You can try to force it through, or you can pivot. we pivoted. There are thousands of videos on YouTube about Moab and the places around Moab. All the slick rock makes for great footage. Gemini Bridges wasn't on our itinerary, but the best places sometimes aren't. The silence out here made me think about what this trip was really about. It wasn't about the footage. It wasn't about ticking off, shots on a shot list. It was about time with my son. And this failure gave us that time.
What's up, YouTube?
Getting lost is time not wasted, as long as it's with you. Unknown roads and foreign places.
Filming overlanding trips and building something to share with you all is new to me. And the failures here reminded me that I'm not just a guy behind a lens. I'm also a dad.
peace will do. Endless days and fields of purple in our cars review, and crowds are always few, and I get lost with you. We'll stray away from the avenue.
Goblin Valley, a name that sounds straight from a fantasy novel. But the only unbelievable things here are the views we see and the memories we make. Ooh! Ooh!
Stray away
Ooh!
from the
That was
avenue.
beautiful.
Getting lost is time not wasted, as long as it's with you.
Wow.
Sometimes failure isn't the end of the story, it's just where the story begins.